So as I said in the beginning of this stream, I am connecting this translation service to my app. They have an API and you can sign up for a free account. You have to register your credit card with it. It's mostly for identifying you. And then you get like a free quota, and that's what I'm using. So I'm using the free plan. And it comes with an API, and that API looks very simple to consume actually. So they offer one API endpoint. So basically you post to this URL, you give them an authentication key, and you say the text that you want translated. You say what language you want it translated to. You can also say, like it will guess what language it is, but you can also say, you can provide to the service what language it is. And then in the response, it will tell you, this is what I found out, and this is the text. And then this we will use and put on the text field in the UI. So I'm going to connect this up now. So in the Android development subreddit yesterday, I read the question why people are using retrofit and if Volley isn't better. And I thought it was very surprising that people still had Volley in their minds actually, because it's so obviously the inferior choice to like retrofit. You could argue that maybe there's a better solution than retrofit, but surely compared to Volley, it's much better. Right, so here's my dependency definition thing. I copied that over from a different project. So not all of these dependencies actually apply to this app, like this coil dependency here. No images are being loaded, so this is not needed. I might as well get rid of it actually. So retrofit, and then I have Moshi in place, so I will also need the Moshi converter. That is retrofit Moshi converter. Put that in as well. And then I will do a variable here as to not repeat myself. I'm also using this time to clean up this dependencies file because I don't need all of this, as I just said. No need for SQLite, no need for Navigator, but I might change my mind on that, so this can go away. Okay, and then put the retrofit version here, retrofit, and then we add the dependencies here, and then it downloads all of them. And then when that's done, we will create a module interface implementation class, like proper Android development, kind of over-engineered for the use case. But at this point, I kind of know how to do that faster than the other way. And also it's a good practice with Hilt, because I don't really use Hilt on a day-to-day, so might as well prepare this here. API, and then we have API module, and that is a class. Let me zoom in a little bit for you so you can see it a little better. So that should be a module, which whenever Android Studio wants to, it can resolve. And then we have to, how did this go? You have to, for Hilt, you have to do install in, I think. Like you have to say install in view model scope or something. View model scope. View model scoped. No, that's not right. Component, I guess. Yeah, this one. I'm not sure if I need the activity component to be safe. I will do it. No, actually, I want to have a compiler error yell at me if I forget this. I need the actual API service. So like translation service is going to be an interface, and then I will do a DEEPL translation service. I could do this in a separate Gradle module, but I think that is actually too over-engineered, even for me. So I'm keeping it here. So this is the translation service. It implements my interface, and then I forgot the declaration part. Is it provides? I think it's a provides annotated method or something. Like it's this, and then I do provides translation service, and then this has the return type of the interface, and it creates and instantiates the implementation like this. And this is how it connects the two together. Actually, I might not need this. Actually, I might not need this because I think this is, yeah. Actually, let me not do it. I want to get the compiler and have it yell at me if I do this wrong. So I think I can create an inject constructor on the class. And then when I ask Hilt for the translation service, it should just know which one it is. But again, I don't really know. I don't remember if retrofit needs a context. It does need a Moshi. And for this, I will need a method in the... Because Moshi, I can't really... Like, I don't have a class that implements Moshi. It's just a object that I need. So I'm gonna do... Create a simple Moshi, and then that gets injected here. And then in here, I create the retrofit service, and that is a retrofit builder build create. Oh, also, sorry that this is again kind of small. Okay. I think build create interface, right? Yeah. One annoying thing is I can't make this a private class, so I also have to expose this DEEPL retrofit service. Interface, of course. DEEPL retrofit service. Can make this an inner class, or like and then in here we have the post endpoint, which is this is the method that basically does the API call. So the endpoint is called translate, so might as well call this method translate too. It returns something, of course. We're gonna get to that in a bit. So I need a base URL here. I think I'm gonna hard code this. Like usually you would do something like if you have the free API or the pro API, it would be different, and then you can inject it, whatever. I only have the free API, and I do not intend to publish this app. Like maybe the code, but not to the Play Store. So it's okay for me to just use it hard coded. What else do I need? Oh, converter. Add converter factory. That should be Moshi converter. Moshi factory. How quickly you forget this stuff is really baffling. What is the class called? Moshi converter factory. Yeah. Moshi converter factory. Oh, okay, it did resolve. Okay. And then create with this Moshi. I think that's all I need. And then in here, of course, I need model objects and stuff. I'm going to create these next. I also have to check if I use reflection or I use code gen. Okay. I will need on the interface, I will need a method that basically does the same translate operation. So basically I'm going to say translate it from to what? And then under the hood, this implementation will use retrofit to resolve that call. But again, this is to do. Right, next up, probably the model classes. So I'm gonna do models. And then I'm gonna do, I guess we need a data class that holds text, its source language. Yeah, text and its source language, basically. What do you call an association between a text and the language it's written in? It's like, it's not translated text, localized text? Maybe localized text or something. Localized text. So this is data class. I hate that Android Studio does this zoom level every single time. So we have text and we have language, which is a language. Speaking of which, we need the enum for that. Language. Enum class. This could be technically the 26 languages that DeepL supports. However, I'm not on the API level here. This is the domain model. So this is what the UI deals with. It's not the API model under the hood. So I think I will just do, let's do maybe 3. Let's do Japanese, English, and German as the options we have. And this is what is being fed to this here. This is the input, like source text is a localized text. Localized string? No, text. And then we have target language is also given. So both of these are given to the translation service, and then it has to do the under the hood translation to the target language. And then it returns, what does it return? It could return, like as per the DeepL endpoint spec here, it seems like it can kind of return, like this is an array, like this is a list. So I guess it could return multiple translations. I think I just want to return localized text, but like it can be null if there's no match for it. Like if the translation service cannot translate this, then it just returns null. Right, so we have this, and then this thing will transform it under the hood. What the DeepL service expects is, if we look at the curl request, it expects the D parameter here, and that is x dub form URL encoded stuff. So it's not JSON. You post it as form parameters, which I think you can do out of the box with the retrofit. How do you do form bodies again with retrofit? I will look up retrofit form encoded, because I think there are annotations out of the box that help. Oh, there it is. Is form URL encoded? Oh, and then field. Okay. I see. Form URL encoded and then field. Oh. It didn't offer me the autocomplete, but now that I typed it out, it was okay. Okay, so translate. Gets 3 fields, so it gets the... Now we can basically just write this, like copy this exactly from here. So we have auth key, we have text, and we have target lang, and we also have source lang, which should be up here somewhere. Source lang, it's optional, and you give it either of these, and then it'll be all cool. So all 4 of these we will give. Source lang, source language, target lang, target language. I'm not doing any like model objects here on the retrofit level, because this service here is gonna translate it into the text that retrofit needs. I think that's easier. Okay, that should be good. 4 fields. Import this annotation. Okay, and then from the API we get a JSON object. So like we get a DeepL response. DeepL translation response. And I want to contain all of the DeepL related stuff, like the implementation stuff. I want to contain that in this file, even though it's different classes and stuff. I don't want to bleed the DeepL stuff out of this file, so that the UI is just written like as per the app architecture guidelines, right? The app is built against this interface. It doesn't know that under the hood there's DeepL. If I wanted to change to Google Translates API, I could just do it, but the app doesn't need to change, because only under this hood is it going to change. And that's why I am going to keep this class in here too. It's a data class, DeepL translation response. This one is annotated with a JSON class. We are generating an adapter for it as soon as we import. Okay, now I need a couple actually. I don't need just one. So this one has the key translations. which is a list of DeepL translation objects. So another class. If I made this into its own Gradle module, then I would make all of these classes internal so that the app module wouldn't be allowed to see them in the first place. That part we won't do here because I think that is too over-engineered for this use case, but we could go that direction in a real app. So we have detected sort. I kind of don't need this. Like the response tells you what DeepL thinks the language is, but we know what the language is because we immediately, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna make this nullable because I don't know. We have to read through the documentation to know what in this is and isn't nullable. So let's see. Let's read some documentation together. Okay, this has to be UTF-8. The parameter may be specified multiple times and translations are returned in the same order as they're requested. Oh, maybe that's why the response is a list. So I can give it 2 sentences at once and the response will also have 2 things in it. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Okay, up to 50 texts per request. I don't need that. I just have 1-to-1, but good to know. These transliterations I have to build in a little while. Target lang is required. Split sentences. Sense whether the translation engine should first split the input. Enabled by default. It's okay to enable this. Formality. Ooh, that is also pretty cool. Sets whether the translated text should lean towards formal or informal language. This feature currently only works for German, so no Japanese. Well, it's more built into the language itself in Japanese, the politeness level, so I guess it makes sense not to support it here. But it's interesting. So you can say more formal or less formal. Glossary ID, whatever that is. Response. Okay, so detected source language is always the same as the source you give when you give it, and then the translated text. It doesn't really say, oh, here's an example where they send 3 sentences and then there's 3 responses. There's not really a example for what happens when there's no translation, so we might have to test it out. So we will do that in a little while. But for now, I'm happy with that understanding. So I'm assuming that these are existent. We will see. Maybe this is null or something, but okay. So what we're doing here in this implementation is we first have to take the 2 language objects, the one that is encapsulated here and also this one, and we have to translate them, no pun intended. We have to convert them into these language codes here. So the enum value German has to become DE in uppercase. And like these transliterations we have to do for going back and forth between DeepL and our domain models. So we do, I guess a map is easiest. Bidirectional map would be the best, because I would like to be able to look it up from both ways, but there's no BIDI map in Kotlin, is there? 2-way hash map. Yeah, let's pull in the library for it. Oh, Michael rocks. Oh, cool. Yeah, I have more confidence in this now. So let's pull in another dependency. Let's put it here. So he has created a bidirectional map for Kotlin. Java, and oh no, it's in Kotlin actually. I'm using one of his libraries for converting phone numbers. And he has the implementation of phone number lib, which is Google's library to create localized telephone numbers from raw strings. And if I don't mistake him, he should be the one that maintains it. Yes, he is. Cool. Yeah, let's test out his bidirectional map. All right, and I think while we wait for Gradle sync, it is time for the second cider of the evening. Prost. Runter wie Öl. Is there a bimap off then? Or how did he create this API? It didn't say in the README for it. Wait, where is it? Okay, wait, maybe it is not created on or published on Maven Central? It is created on Maven Central. Where is my dependency? Wait, what is this? Why do I have Guava in my sources? Ah, okay, it's something in Android Studio, okay. Bimap. No, it's not here. Oh, yeah, I'm dumb. That's why. Usually when something isn't working, it's just because you're dumb. It's a good life lesson, really. I didn't specify my custom function dependency here, so I made it look for a Kotlin library called bimap, but that is not what I wanted. So now if we endure this this long sync and then have to do it again, then we should get the correct library. Actually, while we wait, we might as well look into the API of this library. I'm guessing there's a method called bimap_off. No method called bimap_off. That was a good assumption. So I guess you just instantiate that then. Oh, here, hash bimap.create. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's a good entry point. Let's try that then. Right, so languages or language codes is a hash bimap. So how do I make it so that every single one has a code and I don't leave anything out? I think I'm gonna do language.values associate, and then I do a when statement here. I have to do some sort of case anyway somewhere. Value, and then I do when it. And then I think I can do the when statement in here. And then when it is, and then I can go through. And this when has to be exhaustive. And that's how I catch all the cases. So when it's Japanese, then I need, now we just type this out as it comes up here. So Japanese is JA, English is EN, German is DE. Wait, there's a different associate function, right? Associate with? Yeah, this one I want. Yes, that is the one I want. And now this should be a hash bimap of language to string. Yes, perfect. All right. So now we are doing some sort of helper functions to convert. So we do language to, or as DEEPL code, or as code, I guess. So we do language codes, get value, this. And then the other way around is language of code string. Oh, actually this other way around, I don't need it. I just need to convert it to the code. In which case I don't actually need a bidirectional map after all. Whatever. Okay, source code, get it, is the source text language as code. I'm making that a extension value rather than a function. Slightly nicer to look at. And then I have a target code. It's target language.code. And then we do response. Now we do the actual HTTP call. But we are in a suspending function, and I want to move this call off the main thread if we are on the main thread, because network on main thread, never a good idea. So what I'm gonna do is I'm putting a coroutine dispatcher here so that we can say that this is on the IO thread. And if I did want to write unit tests for this, I could, and replace this with a different one. So we are switching contexts now. Actually might as well do that as the first thing we do. Whoops. So with the context of the IO dispatcher, of course this has to be a val. We do the call now. I want to catch exceptions that happen. Thing is, I might want to have some sort of error show up in UI if like you don't have internet or something. That should have a different error than just saying I don't have translations, but it's whatever. So auth key. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, sure. I have to inject the auth key, which is a string. And I've already prepared this ahead of time. I put that as a build config value. So like this authentication key here is this one. And then we have source language is source text language. No, source code, actually. Target language. I want to log if something goes wrong. And then when it does go right, we have it here. So like, these are translations, no translation. Get the translations, get the first one or null. Yeah, and I guess we can return the... Actually, we might not need the variable in the first place. We might as well just access this thing and then get its text, like unpack it from the DeepL response. Run localize text, and then the language, no, the text is this, and the language is the target language, because that's what it was translated to. And this super wonky chain should give us what we need. Why is this in the next line? Okay, I think with that we have connected retrofit. At least theoretically. It's not used by the view model yet. And I still have to see if this inject constructor is enough to where Hilt will know that if I request this, then it gives me this object, but we shall see. So API module has this. I'm not gonna add the translation service. So now I will go to my translation screen back, so like to the UI. And then up here, very first thing is I create a view model, a translate view model. And this is an empty class right now. And in its constructor, I will put the translation service. Okay, and let's just do a quick safety check. In the constructor, I will say I have a translation service, and then I'm gonna log the object. I'm gonna see if Hilt constructs this, and let's see. It's probably gonna take a bit of trial and error here to get the compiler not to throw up at me, but we'll see. Again, on the OBS, it looks like my camera window is entirely yellow, but at this point it might be Flux because it's past 10 p.m. and night mode is kicking in slowly. Oh yeah, we can actually see that here. Look at that. Because it's past 10 p.m, the dark mode on my device kicked in, and now we have the darker colors. That's fun. Okay, compile debug Kotlin, that is the important part. No. Well, actually it should have been kept. Well, maybe we're good. Maybe it works. Let's see. First time Hilt? That would be a first. Oh, Hilt has its own task. Shoot. Uh-oh. There you go. I spoke too soon. That was very much expected. Okay, what does it have? Translation service cannot be provided without a provides annotated method. Okay, so how do I do this then? Because I think I don't have to declare this thing inside a module. Can I do... what is the recommended way again? I forgot, I have to look it up. Hilt provides Android. Because I think you don't have to go through the ceremony. You can just create a class and then mark it somehow. Do I mark it with singleton? I don't know. Okay. So we have the inject annotation. That is fine. We inject it here. So how do I define? Yeah, see, so... Oh, wait, no. Oh. So you do use a method, but you call it binds? Oh, that is the missing link. So I do need a function in my module, but I annotate it with binds. And then its parameter is the implementation, and its return type is the interface. And then Hilt will know, oh, this thing has an inject and constructor, and I will tie it together. Okay, let's try. Again, for my work projects, for my clients, I use Coin. So Hilt is not something that I see every day. 1 bind, 2 binds. I kind of want to create a proxy class now that is literally called binds. So this thing has the impl as its type, like as its parameter, and the interface as its return type. Import this stuff. Oh, and it's also abstract. Also, this is abstract, and then it should work. You do have my blessing. I'm not sure if the compiler has if I have the compiler's blessing, so unfortunately, it's a harsh dictatorship whenever you're dealing with a compiler, so you comply or you cry is generally what I've been going with in programming. And another failure. Abstract class. A module may not contain both non-static and abstract binding methods. Wait, so I can't do provides and the binds in the same thing? Oh, that's annoying. Well, in that case, I might as well just... Okay, well, as we say in Germany, müssen die wissen. I guess I do the provides then? Whatever. Please don't tell. Like this, and then hook this up like so. Like this is the traditional Dagger way that I had memorized from a few years ago. And it's too much ceremony if you're using hilt. It can be less. But I also don't want to create a second class now, second module. That's kind of stupid. Just for this. No binds, no combines, only compile. Print that on a shirt. All right, hilt, come on. Fucking... Okay. What is it now then? API module is abstract. Oh yeah, I still have it abstract. Whoops. Sorry. You're right, as always, hilt. Such a know-it-all. Situations like these where you wish that the compiler would just sometimes let it slide, but then also data binding still exists on Android, and that just fails randomly sometimes without you doing anything, and that is not a good feeling, so I'd rather have hilt yell at me all the time. It's a hilty boy. Come on. Oh, okay, only, what was it, 3, 4 compile failures on hilt? I'll take it. Good. Okay, let's see if it crashes at runtime. Probably not, but okay, it's starting. Let's check the lock cat. Little kitty cat, where are you? Wait, what kind of... It's an I, it's a blue message. We're looking for a blue message. Oh, there it is. Okay, it just took forever for lockcat to catch up. Okay, cool. So we have lock, I have a translation service, and we have an object. Sweet. Very nice. I think that should cover the setup. So what I will do next is I will try and actually call this service, and then I will want to see that the communication over the network works correctly. Okay, and I will not let this crash on a missing internet permission. This is one of the most common crash things, because everybody forgets it all the time, is declaring the internet permission. You have to declare this before you can make a network call. So probably my most common crash ever, next to I create a new activity and I don't put it here. Because if you do that, then you crash as well. That is the most common one, but the second most common one is the internet permission bullshit. So I have this. What I want to do now is I'm just going to try it out. I'm just gonna launch this bad boy. When it's created, I'm gonna fire up a test translation. I want to see if it returns the correct result. So I'm gonna do translation service. I'm gonna call my translate API. My source text is the localized text. And what I've prepared is a sentence, and I'm gonna use this as an example sentence to like verify that everything's okay. As I said in the beginning, I'm building this thing for myself because I want to use it for verification of like Japanese stuff. If I want to have something translated, or I want to use the speech to text to like train my pronunciation or whatever. I've prepared this sentence here. I'm gonna write it out. I hope I didn't misspell anything. Oh my goodness. The Japanese keyboard is slow in general, but if you're streaming at the same time, look at this, no hands. Look, Ma, no hands. Well, see you in a minute, I guess. Oh my God, that took forever. Yeah, okay, so this is my example sentence. I want to have that translated, and I'm going to say the source language is this. So the example is this, and then this is the translation that I'm gonna get returned. And then I will print that out. Example translation. And then I will print that out to logcat. And then we'll see what happens. And I want to translate that to English. All right, compile and go. So this example sentence in Japanese, it's, I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation for sure, but in Japanese it's 円高の影響で海外製品が安く買えますよ。
円高の影響で海外製品が安くて買えますよ。
And it means because the yen, the currency, because the yen is very strong, you can buy foreign products at a low price. That's basically what the sentence means. So let's see what DeepL gives me as a translation. And if that works, we're gonna go one step ahead and try to connect that to the UI. And then I wanna make that example call through the UI. But that is next. Okay, let's see. Starting. Example translation returned null. Okay, that is not good. Translation error happened, but it does not log the error, which is weird. Okay, let's investigate. That's why I'm doing this example thing. This is now an economy stream. Grab your crypto. Oh no. I didn't mean to. Crypto bros, get out of here. Get out of here. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, in Timber, the exception is the first parameter. I had forgotten about that. We're using a custom logging, not Timber, so I forgot that exception comes first in Timber. I'm gonna shank him. Okay, what's the problem? All right, so we are missing... No way. Oh my god, no way. This is not what happened. I'm super dumb. So basically... this was wrong for like 2 hours or something. Oh, no, not 2 hours, but an hour, I guess. So I created the server URL here, but this is not the entire thing. So the last part is missing. Yeah, not the thing, but it is actually the thing. So I'm missing the last thing here, which is the actual endpoint URL. That's gonna be embarrassing in the VOD, Jesus. So in retrofit, right? So when you create the retrofit, it's usually you have multiple things that the server can do for you. And the common stuff is usually this part. And then everything that the server can do, all the functions, they come after. I forgot to put the last part in. So this word here, translate. We need that here. Because otherwise the server doesn't know what function do I want to tell. No translate. That's all we want to do this stream. No translate. All right. I think it's anti-sweater time. Be right back.
How the hell did you do that?
Great intermission. All right, that looks better. Look at this. I'm not sure I can make this bigger, but we have down here example translation. We have a localized text object. It says it's in English. And the translation that DeepL gave us is, you can buy foreign products cheaply due to the strong yen. That works for me. Sinja, what's a sentence you would like translated into Japanese? From English. Ich möchte Ihren Sahnekuchen bekommen. Okay. Actually, very nice that you bring up the use case of we have to check German too. Sorry, I forgot English for a second. It's my life in a nutshell, honestly. Right. Let's see. I'm really curious to see what this example turns into. So from German to Japanese. What would that mean? I wonder how they are gonna translate Sahnekuchen. Probably I would guess something like maybe あなたのクリームケーキをもらいたいです? Something like that maybe? I'm not sure. What's up, Hobbit? How you doing? All right, let's see. Oh, there it is. Oh my god. Okay, what did it say? So let's pump this up here. All right, so what did it say? あなたのクリームパイ. Oh, クリームパイ. Yeah, okay. あなたはクリームパイを手に入れたい. Okay. I would like to be given it into my hand, I guess. 手に入れたい. I guess it kind of works. That's awesome. That's pretty good. Let's actually see. I want to see what Google Translate would do, because apparently DeepL is so much better than Google Translate, right? So I want to see what they do to this. So Japanese and then German on the left. What do they do with it? Cream keki ga hoshii desu. Oh, that also kind of works, but honestly, DeepL's translation is better. Because this one kind of means I want a cream cake. I want a cream pie, right? But that is less specific and less accurate to the original German. Like, this is more accurate. Because I'm asking you, right? But this is just a general statement of I want something. Sweet. The cream cake might also be very sweet, but that's beyond the point. What I also did in the meantime is I put, you can see that on the bottom right in the UI, I put the example sentence into the text box. So I'm gonna go one step beyond and I'm gonna do a automatic translation. So let's see what that is. In the view model, we will need a function that is translate this for me, view model. So let's go do translate, or actually translate. Translate this text from my language to my other language. And then view model will do a launch, like asynchronous work and stuff. It will tell the translation service to do this thing. Basically, we are adapting our hard-coded test from just a minute ago to actual code. Oh no. Oh, that's actually right. Target language is 2. Get the translation from it, and then we update the state, which is a mutable, no, not mutable live data. What am I writing here? Mutable state flow. Live data kommt mir nicht ins Haus hier. And then we have a data class state, and that has, let's say, not sure how we map that just yet. Live data, what phase? Exactly. I'm gonna screen cap that. Yeah, source text, string, target text, string. I guess both of these can be nullable. Not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it just yet, but we'll get to that. And then we have source language is a language, and source target language is another language. And we start by like no source text. This will be kind of like the last language you used, but I'm gonna start off the app always with from Japanese to English. That's just gonna be the default for now. But the texts are null, like empty. And in fact, I will make this even more reactive. I'm gonna do that example sentence from earlier. I'm gonna put that in here. To do change to empty after testing it. Okay, and then we have a public state, which is just the state flow, not mutable. And that's a mirror. And this is being consumed by the UI. Okay, Timber can go away. We have translation here. And then we will update the state with the new results. So we will do source text is the text we requested. Source language is the from language. Target text is the translations text. Oh, actually, has to be nullable, so like this. Okay, so we have state, and we have a function to instruct the view model to do something. Let's consume the state and update the UI based on it. So in here, we have the content, and we will need to, I'm going to give the entire view model down. Okay, let's do a bunch of state. So we have to do VM state first, which is, and I can never remember this. I think it is viewmodel.state.collectS state. Is it? Yes. Okay, and it has to be by, not equal sign. Okay, it works. So now we have the VM state value. So now we do a bunch of derived state from it. So what do we actually need? Like we have up here, we have an input field where you type into. So we need a state that holds onto that current source text is gonna be, that's actually gonna be a var. And we remember that var because it's a mutable state of the initial one we get. Actually, does that make sense? I'm not sure that makes sense because we have to update it right away. But we do need it though, because otherwise you can't enter something. Let's try it. Let's try it. I'm not too sure about the whole view model thing yet. Maybe the view model cannot give you the source text, just the target. So current source text, we can connect that right away. And when the value of it changes, meaning when you enter something, then what? Oh no. Yeah, okay, whatever. Actually, we can do empty string here. Doesn't have to be nullable. That might make it a little easier on the UI. Okay, and when it changes, then we will update to the new text we get here. Updating the state, recomposing the composable, should be all fine and dandy. We need something similar, but not quite similar. We don't need a state down here because this text you cannot, the text down here, the test target language, you can copy it, but you can't modify it on your own. So what we can do here is just target text. And in fact, you cannot change this value. So might as well make this a optional. Okay, that just displays the target text. Yeah, I think that is good. I'm wondering right now, what do I do here to actually do the translation? I'm not entering anything. Like I can just go and I can just enter. Oh, it's automatically translating it. I see. So it's like on the fly doing the translation. So there's no button to do it. Yeah, that's fine. We don't need a button. But now it's interesting. So ideally it would be something like we have on value change. Who needs a button? Yeah, exactly. It's actually a good point because it's like you just type it in and you don't need to confirm it. It's annoying UX if you do. So ideally it would be something wherein we would have the value change and then we automatically do the translation and we just send requests. I want to see if no, this is not a suspending call. Okay, I want to make this be allowed a suspending call, and then I'm going to do a coroutine scope. Hold on to that here, and then we can actually no, that is dumb. I'm going to do the coroutine scope up here because I don't need it for this field down here. I only need it for this one. So I'm going to update the source text. And then I will do, no, actually, hold on. I don't need to do it like this. What I can do is, oh, I can do that even. Jetpack Compose forces you to think so weirdly outside the normal box. That is like kind of crazy. So what I think I can do is I can do a launched effect on the current source text. And then in here, actually, this is, again, very small. I'm very sorry. Here, this is better. So I'm doing a launched effect. And then anything in here is being executed whenever the source text is changing. And then I will do if... do I have the it parameter here? No. Okay, so if the current source text is not empty, then now I am in a suspending call. Now I can actually do like a small delay, let's say maybe, I don't know, 500 milliseconds or so. And then I will instruct the view model to translate the current source text from current language to current target. I might actually not need anything in the VM state except for the target text. Anything else doesn't need to be in the view model. So we have current language, current source language. By remember, mutable state off. And I'm gonna have to be pragmatic about this. It's solving my use case for now. I can over-engineer it later. So I'm creating these two additional states for the languages. I have to import them, of course. This one. And then I will do source language, target language, put them on separate lines, add the names to them. And I think this coroutine will be like, if I type very quickly, only the last thing will actually do the translation. Because all the other stuff is canceled before. Yeah, and then I need a way to update the target language. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build the logic for the swap button for this one here. I'm gonna build the logic for this one, and it's just swapping the source and target languages. And what I'm also gonna do is this label here that just says Japanese right now, I'm gonna make it say whatever the current source language's name is. Oh, okay, I kind of misspelled that for some reason. Okay, this I will update to sorry, scatterbrained. This I will update to a string resource shortly, but right now this is fine. Okay, and this button, when clicked, it will swap the two. Swapping two variables requires a temp variable, so I'm gonna do the current target language, store that in here, and then I will do the source becomes, no wait, the target becomes the source, and the source becomes the temporary value. And then I will do this. I'm gonna make this dependent on all three of these things. So whenever any of these three are changed, this block executes. So like even when the text is the same, but I just swap the languages around, that's considered a change. So I'm going to launched effect is running. So I want to see if we can actually locate that log in the logcat multiple times. I believe when we have that, we can move on to the final piece of the stream, which is the microphone button. It's the part that I'm most anxious about because I have the least experience in, but I want to look into the speech recognition API because that sounds like a lot of fun. Can you please import Timbo already? Jesus, thank you. Okay, one more time. Hello, hello. Hey man, looks like a great stream. Thank you. Thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate that you appreciate it. We want sound alerts. Okay, please make suggestions. I would like something like a robotic booming voice that just says and with like super long echo and stuff. But I'm open to suggestions. Okay, so we are here. I want to type into this field now. I want to type Endaka, and then we're going to see what happens. Okay, the launched effect is running now. Oh, look at this. And it updated down below. It says high valued yen. Okay. Kyo. Oh, shoot. Kyo. Affected by the strong yen. And it automatically updates. That's awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this again. This doesn't update it. Okay, this does run the launched effect, but the view model is, no, it's always translating it. Oh yeah, of course. But only if the source text is not empty will it tell the view model to. Okay, actually, I changed my mind. The UI should not make a distinction here, whether or not to actually do it. The UI should just always say, translate this, translate this, translate this. And the view model has to make the decision. If this text here is empty, then the view model will not do the HTTP call. But it still has to update its state and saying like, I don't have a translation now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the if here. So basically I will do a check here. If the text that we get is empty, then we will immediately update nothing to translate, reset all text, I guess. We will update to it copy source text is, well, empty, I guess. And target text is also empty, capital T. And then we return. And if the text is not empty, then we will do the translation work here. And that should get rid of our the word plow that's in the bottom. I want to build this again. And then I want to check the language switch. I want to check if I can get Japanese out of this by typing English in. Let's see how it works. Oh, I need placeholders for this. Still don't have those. So let's do another thing here. Let's do, I don't know, washoku. I want to see what it does to washoku. Japanese style meal. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's remove this again, and it is gone. So let me click the swap button. Yeah, and it's kind of hard to see, but there is, like the buttons do swap here, which is good. So let's do English to Japanese. I'll switch this to English, and I want to see, what do we say? My name is John. Oh, okay. That's weird. It had some Japanese in the middle, but now it's English? Okay. Tashi no namae wa? Why is it? What? Okay, that's weird. If I put in my name is John, then I also get the English sentence my name is John out of it. That is kind of weird. Let's see what DeepL returns to us when that happens. No, it's gotta be what we get from the translation back. Huh. Nani? I've been playing a lot of Yakuza these past weeks and months. I'm going through all the games in chronological order, in terms of the story chronologically. And one of the most fun things I've ever heard is Kiryu, the protagonist of these games, saying the word nani. It's just, I love how he says it. I love his inflection. It's just like this very unsurprised, uneventful nani. And he has this like deep booming voice that I'm not doing a good job of replicating. It's just great. I love Kiryu's nani. Do I want to add the lock interceptor? It's kind of overkill. But I do want to know what it returns. Let's do timber here. Tashi wa senja desu. 日本語上手ですね, Senja-san. No, it's actually Hajime Nestle. You got it almost right. Sorry. So again, my name is... DeepL response is... Wait, that's so weird. What's happening here? Why is it returning my name is... Oh, here. Okay. I don't know what's happening here. This is super delayed. Okay, so we have watashi no namae wa. And then I write the word John. And it's returning my name is John. Why? Hold up. I'm going to send this via the API directly. So my name is John from Japanese to English. Huh? Yeah, it's just what it returns. I don't know. And it says that it detected Japanese. I guess it is true that Japanese becomes much more and more English as the years go on, but it's not that hard. So what does the... Hold on, I want to try the actual homepage for... no, wait, no. Wait, hold up. What am I doing? Wait, I'm going from English to Japanese. Like this. Okay, yeah, again, it says my name is John. Huh? That is super weird. So I'm gonna try this here. So English to Japanese, my name is John. Yeah, it's just a bug, I guess. There are some alternatives here. How do I get these? Because this is it. Yeah, this is what I would have expected. Is John the issue? My name is Tanaka. Well, again, this is kind of weird with the katakana. I would have expected this one. But yeah, it does seem like coding is like, you want Japanese? Anata wo fuck. How do I get the alternatives? I want the alternatives. Give me. Is this an alternative parameter here? Maybe this is also a pro feature. Remember that I have the free version of the API because I don't want to pay because I'm a cheap ass. Maybe there is a... Wait, let me switch to pro. Does this have more now? No. Yeah, I don't know. Like, how do they do it? I don't know. I guess we just have to live with the fact that sometimes this thing says my name is John. It's kind of weird. But at least when I do my name is Tanaka, then I guess we do get some... Oh, it did update to the... Wait, is it the fact that I wrote this in lowercase? No, now it's my name is Tanaka in English. If I make this a lowercase m, then again it's the Japanese. But also, now we have the correct symbols for Tanaka. When I make this a lowercase t, then we get the katakana version. It's so weird. Okay, so I guess DeepL is not perfect. Doesn't matter to me much, because it's just fun and games. Cool. No one likes John. Pretty sure John is their arch enemy. Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's like some deepest lore of a engineer called John who was working on DeepL, but then they got bought out by Google, and he was the one who originated Google Translate or something, and that stirred the drama. And then they were like, okay, let's put this conditional in the code. And then they were like, if query contains John, then anata wo fuck. I would like to do some placeholders because these text fields are super empty now. What I would like to have is here we have the word enter text, and I want that too. So I'm gonna add that to the UI really quickly, and then we're gonna move on to the final section. Let's see. So we have... Oh, I have hint already. Wait, what? Oh yeah, I'm not using it though. That makes sense. So up here we have hinto is a string resource. Let's see, hint enter text. And then we open strings XML, hint enter text, and it's the word enter text. And then we compile, and then it should all be pretty. And then we're all very happy. First thing I learned. Good learning path. I mean, it's a very literal translation of it. I'm not sure if it's like super well, if like people say it a lot, but it's always good to know. Okay, let's see the enter text show up. It does. It's small. I want it to be the same size as the normal text, just in a different color. So like this. Style. There's surely a parameter here called style or something. There's font style, font weight, style, yeah. I could actually do local style current. Nah, it's fine. Yeah, that is better. So now we have the placeholder text in the same size as the normal text. English to Japanese, and I go like gasoline is expensive. I should say gasolina ga takai. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I think that would be it. What is the reason you don't compile in the IDE? Because, and hear me out, it's not a conspiracy theory, Android Studio compiles slower than Gradle on the command line. And that is because Android Studio induces a lot of overhead. Whereas if I run the install task from Gradle directly and I start the activity, then a lot of this CRUD is circumvented, or like it's not executed. And I didn't think it was that dramatic, but in my work projects, it's literally cutting down the average compilation times into like a third of what it usually is. So whereas usually I have to wait like 3 minutes for just hitting the play button up top, if I do it via Gradle, it's usually like, I don't know, 40 seconds, 50 seconds. And that is still ridiculous compared to like web development cycles, but it's still so much faster. And I didn't want to believe it, but it's still kind of true. So now I'm an evangelist for building on console. Especially now with the streaming going on and stuff, the machine is pretty heavily under load, and this helps. Okay, I think we're ready to move into the unknown.